Hey guys, this is Mistress Nightmare here, and today we'll be reading Forever Yours, Slenderman, Chapter 1. Before we get started, please hit the like button, comment, subscribe to this channel if you guys want more creepypasta fanfictions out there. Until then, let's get started. The obnoxious buzzing of an alarm clock fading in and out woke Allison from her uneasy slumber. She groaned reluctantly and shrugged off her purple covers of her bed and tried to shake off the odd dream. It meant nothing, she knew, but these dreams had been coming for weeks now. They always made her jumpy for some reason she couldn't explain. School days were always terrible, she thought to herself as she made her way to the small bathroom down the hall. At least it was Thursday, only 2 more days of hell. Allison grimaced in the mirror as her hair was a horrific sight. Long black curls sticking up in all directions, falling past her shoulders and down her back in snarls. Her tan skin seems to hold that sun-kissed glow from the recent summer. She set off to ring her eyes with a small, smug black eyeliner that made it seem her eyes were bigger and brighter. It brought out the deep brown flecks in them, along with a hint of gold. She applied some lining mascara, but that was it for her makeup. She took care of her hair by running a brush through it quickly, and then twirling the end with her index finger, turning her around in the long standards into decent spiral curls. She dressed in a tight-fitting gray band tee that showed off her curvy form, along with a pair of black skinny jeans. She slipped her feet into a pair of black and white Converse and then headed downstairs. Her mom was already left for work, and her father was probably sleeping still, since the fact that he is now switching to the late-night shift in his local factory where he worked. She shrugged on her canvas messenger bag and over her head and then grabbed the keys off the small table by the front door, heading out into the brisk late summer air. Her car rested on the curb, a shiny silver platinum catching in the morning light. The car has been a 16th birthday present from her parents, which she had just recently received in the past August. She drove the short distance to Amartoto High School, which was logically located in Amartoto, Massachusetts, not too far from New York City. It was all right town, she supposed, but it didn't particularly care for it. She didn't really care where she lived, as long as she had a good novel to read and some stories to write. Writing was her passion. She must, like an artist, saw beauty in everything. She saw stories to create out of this world. To her, the planet was just a long sheet of paper, waiting for her to create words to make this magnificent world for her inside it. In a few minutes, she made it her way to the school and pulled her car into the student parking lot. Waiting by a large double door led inside was her best friend, Carmen Anderson. She had pinned straight brown hair that fell past her collarbone and bangs that pinned the back of her face to reveal softer features and bright, watchful blue eyes. Her pale skin was smooth and dotted with tiny freckles. She was wrapped in an orange hoodie, her hands stuffed into her pockets. Her face brightened when she saw her best friend Allison. "Hey," she called Allison as she approached. They fell into step together as they walked their way to their first period. Allison had English while Cameron had history, but the rooms were right beside each other. "Do we have that test in biology today?" Allison queried, shifting the strap on her shoulder bag. Camille nodded. "It's over by Bertra. I guess the sense I'm going to fail, a failure in academic population. My mom is going to kill me. Allison shrugged. Maybe, but don't worry, you'll do fine. A grin spread across her face as her lips tug into a full smile. And if you do fail, at least we fail together. A smile played across Camille's face. Gee, that makes me feel so much better, she sighed as they reluctantly entered their classroom doors. Allison said in a somewhat cheery tone, I'll see you at lunch, all right? Camille nodded. Yeah, have fun in English. We have to act out the part of Romeo and Juliet today. Allison just chuckled and walked inside and took her seat in the back of the room. Her teacher, Mrs. Sandy, was studying, looking in a textbook at the first act of Romeo and Juliet, giving her a falling into her face. Her glasses were perched on her nose, slowly making their way down. As she looked into she kind of looked like an old librarian. The bell let out a shrill ringing, and everyone took their seats. Miss Sandy moved in front of the room and clapped her hands together. All right, students, we're going to start reading Romeo and Juliet today. A chorus of groans ran through the classroom. I know, she said apologetically, but we need to understand how to. She stopped speaking as the door to the room opened slowly. A boy walked in. Jack registered across the teacher's face. And you are? She asked the boy. Allison couldn't see his face because his black back was turned to her, but he appeared to be dressed in a black, breezy sweater, dark washed jeans, but she could see that he had lean muscles, though a thin material of his shirt. The boy and Miss Sandy murmured back and forth quietly for the moment. Then she handed him a textbook and pointed one of her bony fingers to an empty seat in the back row, directly next to Allison. She heard him mutter a quick "Thank you, ma'am," and then turn around, heading towards the seat that he was assigned to. That's when Allison got a good look at him. He was striking, with his odd angelic features. She was only ever to read about that in books. His hair was dark black, darker than she had ever seen. It curled at the end, slightly, curling at his temples and the back of his neck. His eyes were pitch black. Allison's eyes have often been mistaken for black, but her eyes were completely a different comparison to these black eyes. Some dark features that she wouldn't have expected on his skin to be such a light tone. But it looks like white as sheet of paper, though, like he was a ghost. She thought idly how Camille, with the light skin tone person she had ever met, but this boy shot that out of the ballpark. A wicked grin grew on his face when he caught her staring. He winked one of his eyelids closed in a seductive manner and took his seat to her left. Class, Miss Sandy said, regaining Allison's attention. This is our new student. His name is Ash. Hey, you made it to the end of the video. I'm glad. If you want more Ben Drown love stories, check out the playlist that will be popping up soon. Also, if you want any more fanfictions narrations, please check out my other channel, Reading with Blade, which has multiple fanfictions up already. If you are interested in the yaoi experience, check out Tyler O'Connell's channel if you want to go there. But note that channel is only 18 and up. I've been listening to Tyler's stories and I'm addicted to them. Until then, bye guys.